Hi, it's Coach Pete. It's Thursday at 2:30 again. Another Thursday came around. Listen, every week we're going to get together and give you a couple of things to practice during the following week. All of the great performers, musicians, actors, all of them have to practice to be their very best. Does my whistle look okay? I'm getting an indication that it doesn't look quite right. Is it all right? We forgot to do the do not disturb on the phone. Let's just see if anybody actually calls me. So I'm sorry. This week, 10 things to practice on National Parents Day. National Parents Day is the fourth Sunday in July. For those of you that didn't know that, I'm hoping that William and Laura will watch this video and perhaps send me another gift. Started in 1994 to honor the important role parents play in rearing children. That's the reason they did it. So I want to give you 10 things to practice. I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. Give them room to be themselves. We're all kind of unique. I like to say quirky. I say that to Karen sometimes when I do really weird things. I'm like, aren't I quirky? Yes, she's rolling her eyes. So, just give them room to be themselves. Second thing to do, find a balance of appreciation for their era and look for little opportunities to teach them a thing or two. Laura Walsh, one day I told her that my 5 CD changer was broken and I was going to go get another one, and she burst out laughing. I'm like, what's the problem? And she said, Dad, please forget about it. CDs are a thing of the past. You're not going to go buy a new 5 CD changer. And then recently she got us hooked up with internet on our TV, which we're really enjoying. But help honor their era and then pick your spots to teach them a new thing or two. Number 3 thing you should do with them is savor your time with them. You never know how long you're going to have. We had dinner with a really nice gentleman, Don, about 8 weeks ago, and he was gone 24 hours later. He seemed in okay health. You just really never know. So savor your time with them if you would. Give them a big hug. Physical touch is important, but it's even more important as the years go on. I've been trying to give my mom a big hug when I see her. Give them a big hug. Mind for family history. So ask a lot of questions. They're like an old computer. At some point you're not going to get access to anymore. So ask them questions about the family history, make some notes. It's really an important thing. So mind for family history while you have the time. Which leads to the next thing. Tell your kids about them. Tell stories about your parents, because that's how family history gets transferred down to the next generations. I want to have a little shout out to my cousin Sue Marizon in Grand Rapids. She asked me if I would submit for a DNA and through Ancestry, which was really cool. Thanks, Sue. She's been doing some great work. I'm just looking here at the family tree, which she's helped create. Thomas Jolly was like my grandmother's grandfather from 1797 to 1880. And wouldn't it be great if I knew a few stories about him? So tell stories about your parents to your children. That's how the family history gets passed along, and something that I think a tradition we've lost along the way. Be patient and generous with them, with your time as they get older. Mom and I were on vacation recently. That's a whole nother story. That could be like a whole episode. We were sitting there and I was drinking my coffee and she said to me, do you mind talking in the morning? And I was like, yikes, okay. So I guess I wasn't listening very well or having good body language with my mom, but be generous with your time, your body language with them. Be good listeners. So Mom and I ended up having a nice conversation, and it's made a good joke for us now. Think about their legacy. Sorry, I stopped numbering them, but this is number 9. Think about their legacy. Perhaps pick a thing or two that means a lot to them. My dad was really into family history, and so that kind of sparked an interest with me, and I like to think about family history and know more about it. My mother tells me that Grandpa Edwards was a real jokester, and he was always playing pranks on people and having fun, and so Mom and I like to have fun. So pick maybe an attribute or two about your parents and try to keep that legacy going. And lastly, be grateful for them. They brought you into this world. If you can't be grateful for them for that, you got a real problem. So there's 10 things you could practice in celebration of National Parents Day. I'd love for you to come back here and I'll give you 1 or 2 things to practice every week. If this is of any value, share it with a friend or two. At FamilyBusinessPerformance.com, we've got over 50 videos my son William and I have made. He's quite a filmmaker. And he didn't have a lot of talent to work with me. Anything else, boss, that we've got for today? I think we're good. And thanks for being here. Tell a friend. Come back next week. Practice these things with your parents this Sunday, would you? And throughout the following week. And look, if your parents aren't around, you can still talk to them. You can still tell the stories. You can still carry on their legacy. Thank you so much for taking a minute. We'll see you back here next week.